Hey, what's up everyone on Investing Innovations? This is Ryan back for another meeting. To everyone live, hello. If you're on our YouTube, make sure to drop a subscribe. Let's get right into it. Today is Wednesday, July 6th, and before we get started, I just want to mention some important news. So, first up, GameStop announces a 4-to-1 stock split, as you can see right here, up 10%, and the really cool. Another really good news that came up was that not some good news, but definitely something that'll be a catalyst was that I think Tesla's layoff of employees definitely would affect them. And same thing with if you had any negative news as of recently, Tesla kind of broke even in the past couple of days, but really I believe that they're going to continue to go down to the 500 range. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. Here we have one of my favorite softwares, TrendSpider. So let's take a look. So as you can see, this is our current range, and we kind of in this really sharp downtrend. Okay, well, what does that mean? Here's my key levels that I'm looking for. So right here off the bat, we have 370. Boom, right there. I think if we break that, definitely some downside to that, definitely. Beyond that, let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's retrace this real quick. Oh, sorry, it's a little bit of lag. Whoops, that's a bad fit. Okay, 1 second. And go to the top right here. You can see that we have right along here at about 380. We also have a retracement right here, which I think could also be very important for the S&P. Beyond that, though, I think we're gonna see some real blood here. I think 317 is definitely a possibility. But yeah. So let's get right into it. So the lesson for today. Oh, whoops. Gotta 1 second. Gotta log in. All right. So for today, we're gonna fully analyze Ford Motors. How are we gonna do that though? Couple ways. So first thing, just by looking at the bear charts. Second thing, we're gonna go over to TrendSpider and we're gonna type in Ford, and we're gonna take a look at the graph and take a look at some things over here. I had some annotations here, but yeah. So first up, we're gonna think of this a little more conceptually. So what has Ford been doing recently? Ford, in my opinion, has been providing a great asset to the car industry. Why? I think their new line of electric vehicles have definitely proved useful and have still proved today that they are still a great company. Now, I cannot say this about the same about some other car companies because Ford's definitely one I believe in. Ford's been around for quite a while, while some other car companies that I've previously used, like Honda or I like Toyota. Toyota's good, but there that probably wasn't too much of a fan of. So yeah, that's just thinking about it conceptually. Let's get into it though. Let's take a look at their financials. So next up, I have a little bit of a checklist for us to check out. So if we go over to spreadsheets, credit to Brian Ferolde on YouTube. I use this checklist a lot, and he has it there. So just to kind of think of this conceptually. So I did this previously with Chipotle. This is a great resource, by the way. So it gives you stock price now, market cap. These haven't been done yet. Well, let's just take a look. let's take a look at their revenues. Oh, sorry. Let's take a look at it quarterly. Oh, whoops, this is Ford Motor Company. There we go. Okay, so revenues. Oh, sorry, let's go to total revenues. So Ford Motors revenues, it's kind of coming down, but a little bit of a bounce up, right? So I'd say no. Or sort of. I'll give them a sort of. Net income profitable. Let's take a look at their net income. So net income right here. Net income. Wow, that is a very large jump. So keep in mind that this actually means negative net income, which means something bogged them down, which I'm sure we'll find the reason by. But they for a while there that was not good. This is annual, so this was back in 2017, but now as of December 31st, 21, that is some really good recurring revenue. Are they free cash flow positive? For that, we have to go over the cash flow statement. So is their cash flow positive? So for that we go over to free cash flow. And yeah, it is positive. Oh, whoops. It is positive, although it might be deteriorating a little bit. So yeah. Did it beat the SPY over the past couple of years? Over the past 5 years? Well, let's compare. Let's see. Over the past 5 years, it's been performing pretty well. Has it outperformed the S&P? I don't believe so. For the sake of time, I'm not really going to go too much into that. But yeah, so let's continue on. So this right here is one of the best ways you can think about any company that you're interested in looking into. I've done this for many, and it has either reassured my faith in them or absolutely stripped it. So in this case, we're not going to go full in depth, but we'll think about it a little bit more from a conceptual standpoint. So first up, we have our gross margin. So for our gross margin, we're going to want to go over to our income statement. Gross margins. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So they've been performing very well over the past year, but it seems like with a lot of things is that they've deteriorated over the past year, but now they're starting to bounce back. Interesting. I'm interested to see where this goes. Oh, sorry. I got a message. So. Oh yeah. Sorry. One sec. Let me pull out my folder real quick because that has all of my good notes in there, and I can explain this a lot better. So, 1 minute. All right, I got it right here. So, financial resilience would mean, company's balance sheet. What is their cash? We want lots of cash and no debt. So for that cash flow statement, we want to take a look and see if they have a lot of free cash. Because if the company has a lot of free cash, what would happen is that their debts or liabilities are not as much dragging them down, right? So that's also a very important thing to look at. So for here, we're going to look over at let's see, yeah. So free cash, it's definitely coming down, but let's take a look at their debt. Let's take a look at their debt. So yeah, total debt is definitely not too much. So I wouldn't give them that point there. So then you kind of want to next we kind of head into the next area just to kind of think of it a little more conceptually, and that would be the network effect. and the product ecosystem. So we kind of want to think about if you own a Ford vehicle, uh, do friends want to be with friends, and do products intermingle with products? I'd say your cars are really only as far as they go in terms of that sense. So really, in reality, it ends up kind of just stopping at the cars. Now, for some other car companies, there's some products that definitely keep going, but for here, I'm not sure if I can give them the point here. Next up, switching costs. Is it a pain to switch to Ford? I don't think it's a pain. But like, just buying a car in general, yeah, it might be a pain. But really, Ford, I'm not sure if that's too much of an extra pain rather than any other company. Durable cost advantage would be something that allows products to be produced at a lower cost than competitors, and can this be scalable? Now, just kind of thinking about this, uh, it's hard. I think they've tried for a while to definitely get their margins higher, and that's something that where you check the margins, because if something can be produced at lower cost and you're making a higher profit on them, then your margin would show that. But I think in recent years that is not the case. So yeah. Next up, intangibles. Is the brand name making the consumer pay more? I have to agree with that one. I definitely have to agree with that one. Because uh it doesn't even matter if you can save. Yeah, I think a lot of people just pay for Ford. And I think that's a totally understandable thing, right? So, can the company adapt different business models and still compete in the industry? And are they a business killer with that idea? I don't think so. I think Ford does what Ford does best. But with their move into the electric vehicle market, I do believe that they've made a good move, but they're not killing businesses. They're not killing them, right? So is their competitive advantage getting smaller, wider? Is there new products adding value and making customers stick? Yeah, I do agree. I have to say yeah. All right, next is the we have optionality, which means is this a new industry? Um, and is there new products for new revenue opportunities? And to that, I say yeah, because like I said, there are electric vehicles and new vehicles are always coming out, and those are new streams of revenue. Um, Next one we don't really have to worry about, I believe, as much, because Ford owns their own dealerships, but organic growth runway basically means, does a company have organic growth, which means they have their own stores and they have their own incoming revenue, or inorganic by acquisition. But Ford makes their own vehicles, they have their own dealerships, so that's also really good. Um, Next we have operating leverage. Is it for every sale, how much does company profit, right? So profit margins connected, current margin low, profits going above revenue rate, and do they have leverage ahead, or is growth at its peak? So, can Ford get their margins up? That's a phenomenal question. I think they can. I think they can. Right now it's pretty low, but I think that if they switch to lithium ion batteries, or maybe try to get some cheaper way, I genuinely think that they can increase their profit margins. All right. So next we have our customers. Sales and marketing at low cost. Now I gotta say no to this, because I always see Ford commercials everywhere. When the new car comes out, you always see Ford commercials everywhere. So I don't think their marketing is low cost. Um, but I do hear people talk about it though, because the best way to uh, market your company is by word of mouth, from people to people. And I hear a lot of people talk good things about Ford, which has definitely influenced my opinion on them. But overall, I do have to say they do spend a lot of money on ads. Next, if bad times come, are customers gonna delay or be forced to buy? Now, really, hmm, it's a car company, so COVID doesn't really, affect cars necessarily. But if people aren't going to work, if let's say like another epidemic comes, not many people would be driving to work. So yeah, I would say it would affect the car industry. Sorry, one second. All right. So next is the management, because the management means a lot. You have a good manager, or you have one that always babbles online. Looking at you, Elon Musk. So, solo in the game, does the CEO care about the long-term viability of the company, and are they the founder? Because remember, if the person of the or the CEO of a company is the founder, then they have been through it, through bad times, through good times. They know what's up. I trust the founder a lot more. Um, inside ownership. How much do the own companies? Uh, how much do the employees own company stock? I'm not gonna really look into that. That's more looking a lot more into filings, but still definitely important. All right, so overall, definitely there's a lot more to this, but for I think looking over it, I like Ford a lot, and I think they're very solid. Let's take a look at their stock next. So here we have Ford right here. Let me try to zoom out. Whoops. Now we're gonna go to the weekly on Ford. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna draw some lines of support and resistance, right? So yeah, right there would be some good support. And yeah, right there. So overall, I'd say Ford definitely has some ways to come down. As you can see, this very sharp decline. Um, but overall, I think this is a solid company. I think we're gonna get uh some good prices for our valuations. So yeah, that was pretty much our total evaluation of the company. If you enjoyed the meeting, make sure to drop a like and make sure to come back for more. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you later.